Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to tonight's coverage of the Talladega 250 here in the Galaxy Truck Series. Here on JCTV, I am Eric Wineland, your host once again, joined by my broadcast partner, Josh Coppermill. Josh, it's the same thing every week. Welcome back. Glad to have you back, and looking forward to some Truck Series racing here at Talladega.
Oh, absolutely. I love this track, Eric. It's high speed, wide open, and pack racing. Going to be an exciting one here tonight as we've got 94 laps around this 2.66 mile track.
Definitely, it's always a lot of fun because a lot of guys have a lot on the line in terms of getting themselves positioned well in points and so forth. No playoffs here in the Galaxy Truck Series as we've highlighted throughout the season, but still, there is a points race battle going on for the championship. Currently, the points leader is Alonso Chicano in the 25. Josh, I guess that leads me into perfectly to my pick to win the race tonight, and then I'll go to yours, but my pick is the 25 of Alonso Chicano. I think he showed a lot of pace last week out at Las Vegas. Unfortunate incident took him out of the race, and he didn't get to capitalize on the good pace that was in his truck. I fully expect him to be so hungry from the disappointment of Las Vegas to go out and get a win here at Talladega.
Yeah, Alonso is definitely one to look out for sure. He's really fast, and he's got a huge points lead now over second place. But I think Joey King is the guy to watch out for here. He's my pick to win tonight. He's really fast. Those SPR guys, they are always up front in races. I expect them to work pretty well together tonight, and I think Joey King is the one that gets it done.
Another good pick to win tonight's event. Tonight, as Josh said, 94 laps around this 2.66 mile super speedway that is Talladega here in Alabama. We're the virtual version, of course, but it's going to be fun. 2 stages tonight. Stage 1 ending at the end of lap 20. Stage 2 concluding at the end of lap 40. As we take a look at some of these guys making their qualifying efforts here. We've got the 29 of Goosens coming through. I think this is 3 and 4 here. Both ends are very identical. Just whichever straightaway you get dumped out on is pretty much the identifier. In this case, Goosens coming across the start, or excuse me, coming through the front stretch. But we'll highlight something very unique here at Talladega, Josh, is the start-finish line. It gets talked about all the time, but the start-finish line's not right there in the middle of the tri-oval. It's down there closer to turn 1.
Yeah, and with that move of the start-finish line, with the placement of the start-finish line a lot farther, there's been times where drivers may have been able to win the race if it was in the classic middle of the tri-oval, and drivers have been up front at that location, but not been up front just a little bit further that have ultimately lost them the race. So it's a little bit of a unique style here, and I'm sure we'll see it come into play tonight.
Alrighty, well, we'll get one pre-race interview for you guys here. We got Cameron Caldwell joining us here in the booth. Cam, I know you're a Cup Series regular, but you're coming in to race the Truck Series tonight. What's your plan moving forward with the Super Speedway race? You're not really in it for points or anything. You're out here to get a trophy, right?
Absolutely.
So how do you approach the race here, especially being in a different situation compared to some of these Truck Series regulars?
Well, like you said, I don't need points or anything, so I'll probably, stay in the back, keep my car or truck in one piece, and hopefully have a shot towards the end.
So do you take anything away from tonight for the Galaxy Cup Series race tomorrow night? Any tips, tricks that you can hone in on that you may learn tonight that you can utilize tomorrow?
Not really. The Cup cars and the trucks draft so differently, so there's not really much you can take away. It's just really for fun, honestly, tonight.
Alrighty, sir. Well, best of luck tonight. That is our in-race reporter, Cam Caldwell, joining us here in the booth. We'll hopefully get a chance to talk to him later on in tonight's event.
Thanks, guys.
So that was Cameron Caldwell, Josh. Not too much excitement in the voice. I think that's a very focused driver right there, getting set for these 94 laps.
Yeah, he's very focused and definitely has a hunger to win races. You know, he's a good friend of mine, and he always just kind of sounds like that. Not too enthusiastic, but you know, he's getting ready for this race. I know he's been looking forward to it and been talking about it for a few weeks now about how he's been wanting to get in this race and go for a win. So I expect him to, you know, come up front when it counts and try to go get a checkered flag.
It'd be interesting to watch tonight how someone like himself, like Cameron himself, and a few of these other guys that are mainly Cup Series regulars in tonight's event, coming down to the Truck Series to run such a fun race, and the fact that it's a super speedway here at Talladega. It'd be interesting to see how these guys position themselves in battle throughout tonight's event. Taking a look at the qualifying standings here, we're on the blimp view just to get a reference of scale of how big this track is here at Talladega. Just insanely large, but the speeds, of course, always up there as well. Currently sitting on pole is Christopher Hamann with a 55.721. It's just a couple hundreds quicker than Patrick Mucci and Charlie Brown. Very interesting name there. Not spelled the same way as you may think. Charlie spelled Charli. He's an interesting one tonight, making his Galaxy Truck Series debut, Josh.
Yeah, he races in the Cup Series. Hasn't been with us in a few weeks, but should be a good one to come down here and get some more laps in Galaxy.
So as you see these cars beginning to file onto the grid, qualifying has finished. We're going to go ahead and take a look at your starting grid here in a few moments. Welcome back to live coverage of the Talladega 250 here for the Galaxy Truck Series League on iRacing. Grid just rolling off down the backstretch right now. We're going to go ahead and go over our starting positions tonight for these guys. here in the Galaxy Truck Series. Starting on pole, he held onto it throughout the qualifying session. The 33 of Christopher Hamann with that 55.721. Patrick Mucci starting outside of him in the first row, followed by Charlie Brown, Tyler Bearden, Ashton Hartman in 5th, Cody Moore in 6th, Joseph Lester 7th, Brett Bennett 8th, Mitchell Goosens 9th, and Dakota Knoll rounds out your top 10. So we'll keep an eye on the rest of these guys as they go out throughout the field tonight. Kruger, Hill, Benefill, Stone, King, Dulaney through the 15th position. Ballou, Princeton, Chicano, Felver, Fuge, Caldwell, Petrucco, Hickenbottom, Gwilt, Duke, Maybray, Landrum, Overton, Fryer, Samuelson, Slavosky making his Galaxy Truck Series debut. Ryan McDaniel, Andre Grambucci, Campbell, D'Amato, Fields, and Martinson round out the 38 trucks that are making a start tonight. As we see the pace car peel away from the front of the grid, and the field is in the hands of the 33 of Christopher Hamann. He'll look to get us started. Remember, we talked here at the top of the broadcast that the start-finish line is so far away from the tri-oval. We will see when Christopher gets a green flag. These guys put it to the loud pedal. There we go. Hamann is off. Take the green flag, the first of 94 laps here at Talladega.
Side by side going into one for the first time. It looks like Christopher Hamann may have a little bit of advantage. He is going to clear that outside. And actually, the 0.6 of, I believe that is Tyler Burden. It's going to come down to the inside line.
So a lot of fanning out already. You see there a couple guys deciding to head toward the back of the field. That's just a strategy play. A lot of different strategies here on the super speedways in terms of how you race them. You got guys that'll come find themselves toward the front of the pack because they feel it's safer out front, whereas toward the rear, you see guys falling back off the lead draft a little bit just because they want that reaction time in case a wreck happens in the middle of the pack. So we see 2x2 for the lead here. Across through the tri-oval and to the start-finish line. Keep in mind that thing is so far away from the tri-oval. Hamann leads the first lap of the race. Challenging there on his outside is the 46 of Patrick Mucci, pushed by the 88 of Cody Moore. Those are the only two guys really trying to make some headway on the outside. The 21 of Knoll is a little further on back, followed by, I believe that's the 81 there on the outside as well, behind Knoll. 83 of Adam Benefill.
Yeah, outside line not really having much help. A lot of guys just trying to get to the inside to stay clean and not have anything happen to their trucks early. It's a long race, coming to 92 laps. It's scheduled 94 to go, so long ways to go. Don't want to mess your truck up this early in the race.
So Hamann with still a healthy lead at the front of the pack, but it's 2x2 behind him for second. So we'll see if he decides to play with the lines a little bit, kind of do a little Dale Jr. blocking to control both lanes. Doesn't appear to, as Patrick is getting a great push from Cody Moore. He's actually going to get himself cleared for the lead heading off into turn 3. He's not going to pull down and leave his partner, Cody Moore, but Moore is out of engine overhead with that temperatures. That's going to be a big thing to watch out for tonight, Josh. Explain to us how the temperatures can really heat up in these trucks.
Yeah, that airflow, with these setups being open setups, you can put as much tape on there as you want. You have a lot of tape, and you're really stuck in that dirty air on the bumper of the driver in front. You really can run hot with oil temps. Water temps will start to raise and get real hot. Start steaming. You'll have water coming out of your car or truck in this case. And if you get too hot, it will just blow up. And your whole race will be over very quickly. So you want to be very easy with being on the bumper of the truck in front of you and not push too hard. You can lock bumpers, but I don't know how much these guys would want to do so this early at least.
Yeah, locking bumpers is the quickest way to heat that motor up, but it's a necessary evil here in the super speedway racing in NASCAR. Even in the iRacing level, the draft plays so much of a factor in being able to move forward, gain speed. We see a lot of jockeying for position now. We see, I believe that's the 146 of Charlie Brown pulling out there to be the first in the outside lane, up in front of Cody Moore and Adam Benefield. Joey King starting to work his way into the picture. The 45 of Brett Bennett on the bottom. The 21 of Dakota Knoll also shifting himself to the bottom side. So these guys definitely changing lanes a lot. Just trying to get themselves into position. We see first 3-4 rows about double file there. A lot of guys trying that outside lane, trying to come forward a little bit, but also kind of want to settle into the race. We're only 5 laps in here, and remember, first stage ends on lap 20. Side by side off of 4. Looks like Brown's not going to be able to get enough of a push from behind just yet to challenge Mucci for the lead. We'll see its third lane starting to poke up there with, I believe, Rich Petrucco was kind of getting his nose of his truck out there. Not sure if he wants to take that chance just yet. He has Adam Benefield, who's thinking about it as well.
And I'm kind of really shocked to see Rich Petrucco and Joey King up here this early. If I remember correctly, back at Daytona, although Rich won, him and his teammates stayed in the back and really came out to play once the race got towards the end.
Oh! Big moment there for the 146 of Charlie Brown. He got a bad push from Cody Moore. He was sideways on the back straightaway there. Thankfully, enough of a room to be able to hang on to that truck. He'll actually fold into line there off of turn 4. Cody Moore now taking the lead of the outside lane, but falling way back due to the loss of momentum there. And that outside line quickly has dissolved itself for the most part. A couple guys still straggling out there. I think Joey King is riding up there with Petrucco, his teammate, behind Cody Moore there. So Moore still looking to be the leader of that outside lane, but they have fallen back from the front of the pack here. Josh, I mean, at this point, we're just about a quarter of the way through stage 1. And some of these truck regulars are starting to work their way toward the front, but how aggressive do you feel like you need to be, especially for just stage points tonight?
Oh man, you know, it's a hit or miss really in these races. Sometimes the stages can end calm, sometimes they can end very hectic. You've got a lot of Cup guys in here that really don't care about points, they want to win. With that being in mind, some of these guys might, Cup guys at least, might really try to push to go and get stage win possibly. I'm not sure why you'd want a stage win, but you know, at track position, possibly for the restart, maybe why, but you know, that outside line is really coming into key here for Brian Mabry leading that outside in the number 3. He's a Cup regular making his first Truck Series start tonight, and with my experiences of Brian Mabry, he is an incredible restrictor plate racer. So keep an eye out on him and that 3 truck on that outside line right now, being pushed by Rich Petrucco.
So we see the first of our trucks that might go a lap down here. That's the 77 of Kyle Martinson. Unfortunately, he has lost the lead pack draft, and he will be lapped right here as he goes to the top, as these guys file through the tri-oval past him. So nice thing about Talladega is there is a lot of room, Josh, a lot of lanes for the lappers to get themselves out of the way, so hopefully they don't play too much of a factor tonight as we saw at Las Vegas last week.
Yeah, there is a lot of room here, so lappers have you know, plenty of room to get to that outside like you said, or down to the apron. You know, it is possible to go 3 or 4 wide here. Not sure how much you'd want to do so, but if you got 3 wide train coming behind you, if you stay up on the track, you may make it through. So that's the thing to keep in mind for these lap cars.
There is enough room to sustain 4 lanes here, but we've seen it done at the top level of iRacing. Haven't really seen it too much in official series, and it'll be interesting to see if these Galaxy truckers can do so tonight. You know, an interesting development I'm seeing here, Josh, is teammates picked each other up. Tyler Burden in the 06 picked up his teammate Kyle Martinson, who was getting lapped, and now they've kind of formed a 3rd lane out here to the outside, and they are coming toward the front. I mean, at this point, Martinson can get himself a lucky dog already, being the first truck 1 lap down, but he might be able to get it back the hard way and just get himself right back into the race immediately here. But I tell you what, that's bringing the 06 and I believe the 88 of Baloo, or excuse me, not the 88 of Baloo, but the 04 of Channing Baloo to the front on this third line here.
And it looks like Joey King's going to move up there as well, and a little straggler behind. You got Joseph Lester on that high line, and he's coming up there as well. So right now you got 3 lines. The bottom line still has the longest pack in it, but so far that middle line is making a lot of ground. That outside line, though, they're not slacking. They have a lot of speed as well.
So yeah, you still see a lot of shuffling there. King is going to get into the 06 of Tyler Bearden. That's going to send him down into the inside. No yellow there because it happened off track, but King, I'm not sure if he thought he was clear. He just hung a left into Tyler Bearden there. Unfortunate for Bearden's race there, and we'll see. Hopefully these guys are able to recover, but that's a decent amount of damage there for the 06, and I'm not sure who got caught on the inside there. Just an unfortunate set of circumstances there in the middle. Josh, the middle has got to be one of the toughest places to make sure you're clear, especially with some of these guys only race on a single monitor. With FOVs and such, you can't really see too much.
Yeah, not a lot that you can see. I race on a single monitor myself, so you really got to trust on the AI spotter to get you through and clear of some positions in that case. And I'm not too sure what happened. I looked at the replay there, and kind of looked like Joey King might have gotten a little loose and come down on was that Bearden, and then I believe the other one that was involved was tell
you what, back up here at the front, or actually not at the front, but the second pack that's kind of formed right around, I believe it's the 97 of Landrum, actually Hickenbottom in front of him. These guys are struggling a little bit. They're trying to get themselves organized here, but there's a little bit of chaos happening with some of these guys making lane changes, but they're quickly falling off the pack. So no challenge for these guys for the stage back here in this back half of the field, as we see 2x2 up here with Moore, Mabray, or I mess his last name up every time, Josh. With Brian, and then we see a little bit of 3-wide action here with Petrucco, and I think that's the 146 of Charlie Brown.
Yeah, I'm not. I see the 6, but we've got. Looks like 2 trucks on that outside. They do have a lot of momentum with Petrucco leading that. They are coming up to a lap trucks. This is going to be interesting. We probably will see our first taste of 4 wide if Petrucco doesn't back it down. It's going to be close. They did back it down on that outside line. That was really crazy there for a second.
Tell you what, that's always a dangerous thing, is just catching a lapper in the wrong position. Petrucco did well to not totally run over the lapper there. I'm not able to tell quite who that was. I think that might have been the one of Christopher Hill. It was the one truck of Christopher Hill going a lap down. Oh, we got turned in the middle of the pack. Brian Mabry is turned, and that is going to trigger our first yellow. I think, no, it has not triggered a yellow. Oh my goodness. The wreck right off of turn 2 in the middle of the pack did not trigger the yellow. I'm surprised by that, Josh, but we see the 3 with some damage. I'm not sure if the 83 of Benefield, he was sideways. I'm not sure if he got turned. Yeah, he got hit by Brian. There's Brian got spun sideways out of 2. And yeah, the 2 trucks that spun are off the apron, so we have no yellow.
Yeah, that was crazy. Was not expecting that to happen at all. But with no yellow coming out. Tough break for Brian Mabry, though. I know he loves these races at Daytona and Talladega. So he can't be too thrilled right now.
Back up front for the lead. Here goes the 88 of Cody Moore. He's getting himself cleared to the inside lane. He's getting a huge push from Chris Hill. Just as I say he's clear, he actually ends up not clear. Here comes a charge again from the 46 of Patrick Mucci, pushed by Christopher Haman's intensity ramping up here in stage 1, just 4 laps away when they cross the line from the end of stage 1. Moore gets shuffled 3 wide. Now you got the 1 of Christopher Hill with his teammate, the 77 of Kyle Martinson, in tow behind, running that outside lane.
Yeah, I think it's going to be really hard to get any kind of runs here with an 8-truck pack. These guys are really going to have to push and lean on each other a lot. That's not really something that you want to do, or at least have done to you at this point of a race here. I don't know. This could be a very interesting stage finish. And that outside line is starting to prevail a little bit, though.
Well, I tell you what, Josh, the interesting fact here is that Chris Hill and Martinson are both laps down. So the outside lane is led by 2 lap trucks. And these guys are actually trying to get themselves back into position. Actually, Martinson is registered 4 laps down on our timing and scoring. So he has a little bit more to fight for here. But looks like Hill's going to get back the old-fashioned way. Pull down in front of the leader. Great push from his teammate there. So put Chris Hill back on the lead lap barely. And if he can stay there, it gives the lucky dog to his teammate in the 77 of Martinson, who's going to squeeze. He tried to squeeze into the hole. I don't think he was quite clear with Brett Bennett. So he stays to the middle, but that was quite a squeeze there off of turn 2, Josh.
Yeah, definitely insane. Good thing they kept it together and nothing crazy happened as far as the wreck, but these guys are going to start to regather, reform, and try to get some more runs. Wow, 3 wide, that's not going to work there in the middle of the pack like that. Hey, almost made. They are making contact, still making contact, and they're wrecking.
Oh, turned! Big wreck, that's going to trigger the yellow. That'll be the end of stage 1. That was, I believe, the 88 of Moore got turned by the 04 of Blue, or the 04 might have gotten turned. I'm not sure what happened there. We'll take a look at the replay here when we get the chance. A lot of trucks sitting sideways here on the apron. In turn 1, we'll take a look. Massive incident there. Who was that hit the wall extremely hard right there? And a couple guys come flying in, barely missed the pack of spinning cars right there. We'll take a look here on the replays, see if we can get a few more shots of what goes on here off into turn 1. But that will end your first stage in tonight's Talladega 250. So taking a look at my client side replay as we ride on board with Blue. Looks like Blue got in the middle 3 and D'Amato was holding him tight and made contact, and it sent his truck into a death wiggle into Blue, and that collected the 88 or more, the 9 of Princeton as well, involved in that incident. And I'm not sure if any of these trucks still coming through got in it as well. I think most did well to avoid the incident. But the 88 of Cody Moore, the 04 of Channing Ballou, and the 68 of John D'Amato, all with heavy, heavy damage here in the race. So that'll be the conclusion of Stage 1. And Stage 1 winner is the 46 of Patrick Mucci, followed by the 33 of Christopher Haman. Brett Bennett comes home 3rd in the stage, Dakota Knoll 4th, Joseph Lester 5th, Rich Petrucco 6th, Alex Princeton 7th, even though he is heavily damaged. Logan Slavosky in 8th, Lee Overton in 9th, and Ashton Hartman making his Galaxy Truck Series debut rounds out your top 10 in stage point finishers in this first stage. We'll see if we look to get a word with Patrick as they come down pit road, and there is a big discrepancy here because, again, Princeton is trying to chug his way back up here with a lot of damage, and that's actually held up a lot of the other lead lap cars. So we see that coming off of turn 4, and they are coming to pit road this time.
drivers taking their Ford tires, it looks like. Eric, how much does tires really matter here at Talladega?
Well, Josh, it's actually a pretty good question. Depending on the setup, I think is really going to see where you can find some wear on the tires. There used to be an old strategy to throw a lot of camber in the tires to have less friction on the ground. That was something that happened here in iRacing. A lot of guys also like to have the tire surface as flat as they can to get the most traction, especially in events like trying to pull off of pit road. It also plays in a lot to how you run the ride height of the truck. The truck does have some ride height limits in the garage that you try to get around, but sometimes are unsuccessful in doing so. But nonetheless, to get the best riding truck. So it's honestly comes down to a setup variance. I think for a lot of guys, as laps get put on the tires on these trucks, it does add up to some considerable wear. And then strategy plays a lot in that throughout the night tonight's event as well. If you take 2 left side tires, you tend to be a little tighter. If you take 2 right side tires, you tend to be looser. All 4 tires, well, cold tires and lower pressures can affect your ride heights. Maybe you drag the ground in your first couple laps in the stint. It's very interesting, and I think it's pretty much a setup by setup basis, Josh, as to whether tires can be advantageous to these guys.
Yeah, I know, Talladega and Daytona for that matter as well. You can get away with not taking any tires here. So it's going to be interesting to see how many times these drivers do take tires, though, to try to get some of that strategy to get up front. So when you're 3 wide, it's not really all that easy to pass, is it?
So we get a chance to speak with Patrick here real quick. I think if he is available in the Discord, we're going over it one more time here for us, but I'm not quite seeing his name, so I'm gonna go with he's not available right now for a stage break interview. So we'll see if we can grab maybe our in-race reporter here, Cameron Caldwell. Cam, it's Eric in the JCTV booth. You got a copy there, sir?
Yep.
All right, well, I'm going to be pretty brief since you guys are getting ready to go to the restart here, but you are only in turn 2 and the pace laps here at Talladega are so long. So first stage, didn't see you up front too much, taking it nice and easy. More of the same going through the second stage here?
Yep. I wasn't really planning on losing the pack, but I guess it worked out because I kept wrecking. So I'll probably see the same for at least this stage. Not sure how the next stage is going to go, but definitely this stage for sure.
So Josh brought up a good question to myself here in the broadcast booth, and I'll ask you for a little bit of insight here. Do you feel that tires are going to play too much of a factor in tonight's event here at Talladega?
I think for some people, yes, because the steering is really weird, like especially on the flat parts of the track. You might see guys get really squirrely, and that's just the steering. I think having fresh tires will help with that a little bit. So I think for certain people, yeah, it will.
Alrighty, well, you guys are in turn 3. I'll let you get back to your team. Thank you for joining us here in the booth tonight. Hopefully we get a chance to talk to you later on in tonight's event.
All right, thanks, guys.
That was Cameron Caldwell, our in-race reporter there in that 12 truck. He's sitting 12th here for this restart. He's 6th on the outside lane. The pace car is off of turn 4 and makes its left-hand turn down below the line as it heads toward pit road. First timer, big debut for the 23 of Logan Slavoski. He's going to be the control car for this restart. And the interesting thing about the Galaxy Truck Series is after the initial start, you can go anywhere after the pace car pulls off for any restart. Whereas the initial start is on the green flag. We'll see what the 23 of Slavoski decides to do. And with the 99 of Lee Overton to his outside, the green flag flies back in the air to start stage 2. We see a nice big jump there for the bottom lane, but Overton getting a nice push from Patrick Mucci in the 46.
That outside line did have a good push, but it doesn't look like it's going to stay here as Logan is going to clear Lee Overton. He has a little bit of a run here, but not quite enough. That bottom lane should still have the advantage and momentum here. Going into 3.
Seeing one of my favorite views there on the screen, the blimp view. Get a full sense of how close these guys race, how tight they get tucked up to the bumpers of the guys in front of them, especially those that are trying to move forward and push. Only early here in stage 2, but you do need to position yourself toward that end of the stage because you never know when you won't get a yellow, as we saw in that first stage. A lot of non-yellow incidents until that final one there to conclude stage 1. Driver in the wall. We got a little bit of an incident happening here. The 99 got involved. I believe that was the one of Hill that might also have gotten turned into the wall. I say the 99, that is a 58 of Ashton Hartman in timing and scoring, but the 99 Office Depot truck, he has massive front end damage.
Let's see what happened here on the replay.
I think a truck blinks out here, Josh. Listening to the driver scanner, it seems like the 6 might have had an issue where a truck blinked. Yeah, there's a truck blinking up into his lane. And he blinks out right then. I think that's just some netcode incident there, as we see on the replay. I'm not sure who that was.
I believe that was Brett Bennett there. Number 45, Brett Bennett.
Unfortunately for Bennett, I don't think he's been scored again. He has returned to the pit lane now, but he is severely damaged and getting some damage fixed there as he unfortunately blinked out on us, and that caused that incident, but no yellow since these guys kept it straight. Back up front, big battle for the lead here. The 23 of Slavoski's trying to hang on to the bottom. Now the SBR duo of Joey King and Rich Petrucco have worked their way to the outside, and Petrucco is pushing Joey King, trying to get him clear of that bottom lane.
That outside line is strong right now. King clears Slavoski and actually leaves his teammate Rich Petrucco and goes down to the bottom because King. So now Rich Petrucco has the outside lane, and he's being pushed by Patrick Boucher. And I'm wondering if he's going to clear King and hop down, so you got those SPR guys right back nose to tail. It looks like Mushi's going to get out of the line and go up to the 3rd lane. King moves up.
So Josh, I'm assuming these guys have plenty in the tank to go to the end of stage 2 here. Not too much in the way of fuel saving that needs to happen.
No, I wouldn't think so. They made it to stage 1 just fine. So I don't think that there's any fuel saving going on.
So we still see a long pack well off of this front pack, and that incident even polarized those 2 packs a little bit more. So now you've got about a 9 truck pack here, and then some 8 seconds back you have another 9, I believe it's 9 or 10 truck pack, starting with the 25 of Alonso Chicano back there. So we see a big move up front here. Petrucco and King to the top. The 33 of Haman's going to follow him. I think he's another SBR truck as well. Slavoski left out by himself on the bottom with the help of, I believe it's the 81 of Michael Kruger stepping into view right there on the bottom. But those SPR trucks are clear, and they're going to take command of this race. The first 3 trucks on the bottom: Joey King, Rich Petrucco, and Christopher Haman.
Yeah. Like I said in the pre-show, those SBR guys are ones you need to watch out for because they are strong. Although, again, I am still surprised that they are pulling this strategy rather than the one that they did at Daytona, where they stayed in the back until the end and came out and mattered. But, hey, they're doing good, keeping their trucks clean for the most part. Looks like Petrucco and King have a little bit of rear end damage, but obviously it's not slowing them down any, Eric.
No, Josh, it has not. We are 28 laps complete now in this race. Just about 12 to go right there for this end of this second stage. Not too much to play for these guys. These top 9, I mean, pretty much they're all scoring points if they're Truck Series regular or going for Truck Series points here. So I don't expect to see too much jockeying for position until we get down toward the stage end. Meanwhile, back there, looking back to the second pack, they just came off turn 2. That's Alonso Chicano, a 25, leading that pack with a little bit of too wide action with Anthony Campbell in the 73. Another guy making his Galaxy Truck Series debut, that 73 truck of Campbell. He actually gets himself clear with a push from Dan Fields in the 66. So just about 7 trucks in that pack right there. And then another 3 trucks have fallen off this pack, but these guys are 12 seconds, Josh, off the leaders. Don't think they're really going to make that up here in the final stage, or in this stage before the stage break. So at this point, it's pretty much a battle for the lead to get that 10th position, that final point.
Yeah, I think these guys, they're kind of pulling a smart strategy here, staying in the back in case those leaders up there get racing really hard and start wrecking. I know there's not a lot. I know there's not a lot of trucks in that lead pack, but it is possible for them to really get dicey and wreck each other. So these guys, they might just be kind of staying back here, tucking in, not really pushing much, maybe testing out some runs for later in the race, and maybe avoid a wreck from that front pack, or in which case they're coming to 9 laps to go in the stage, so I wouldn't think that they'd be worried at all with 9 laps to go, whether or not they might get lapped themselves, because it's a big track. So I have to say I kind of like this, just staying back here and not pushing hard at all.
And looking at timing and scoring, looks like only 1 truck in danger of going a lap down right now. That's the 13 of Damaris Hickenbottom. I think the race control just made note. There is a new rule this week implemented in the Galaxy Truck Series, Josh. It's minimum speed. So these guys took the same rule that you see applied in NASCAR. As you see every Friday, Saturday, Sunday between the Truck Xfinity and Cup Series. They took that same minimum speed rule, although there is no practice in that end. They still have a minimum speed that they have to meet. They implemented that here in the Galaxy Truck Series. No one has had a problem with that yet, but it's something they implemented with Talladega, especially looming overhead. A lot of damaged trucks trying to hang out here, such as the 13 of Damaris Hickenbottom, just out here to try to maintain, if he can, a lot of damage on the truck, unfortunately for him, as you see him get ready to get lapped here. Actually, sorry, that's the 9 of Alex Princeton getting lapped. A lot of these guys just trying to salvage what they can. Princeton's still out here for points, so seeing him try to hang on while these leaders get themselves single-filed out. Again, inside 10 laps to go, or 10 laps remaining in Stage 2. Stage 1 winner Patrick Mucci is kind of trying to lead a charge with Mitchell Goosens right now on the outside lane. They're the only 2 really trying to mount a challenge.
Yeah, I'm starting to remember way back at Michigan. I think that was Goosen's first truck race, and I remember from that race that he wanted to lead, and every time somebody passed him for the lead, as he's actually taking the lead right here, every time someone passed him for the lead, he'd say, "Nope, you're not taking this away from me. Go and take it right back." And I wonder here at Talladega, with huge runs that you can get with these trucks, if he's going to really have that same bold strategy that he had back at Michigan, and see if he can keep leading this race now that he has the lead. So it'll be interesting to see what he does from here on out throughout the night and the rest of the race.
Looking further back away from these leaders as we see Goosens and Mucci make it to the front of the pack. New leader, the 29 of Mitchell Goosens. Big push from, I think it's King, sorry, on the back of Mucci. Has him all sorts of sideways down the back straightaway there off into turn 3. Goosens still your leader. Meanwhile, in the pack behind them, it looks like they've kind of accordioned together the two packs. Chicano and Fields leading the first one have got some company now from the 97 of Landrum there on the top with the 17 of Fryer, and the 98 sneaking his truck into the picture there. I believe he's the 98 in scoring. I think it's the
Carl
18
Felber.
of, yeah, the 18 of Felver in timing and scoring the 98 in your picture right there. Those three guys have caught this pack, and they're just flying by on the top. Big push from the 17 is going to get the 97 of Chris Landrum clear. Big push from Craig Fryer there in that Spears number 17 truck, and they're actually trying to pull Felver as well to the bottom. New leaders of this pack, new 10th place position, or excuse me, 7th place position now for Chris Landrum.
Yeah, that was very well, nicely executed by those three. Pulling all three of them clear of Daniel Fields, number 66, who now sits fourth in this group on the bottom. That was really nicely executed by them, and they may have some kind of in-race team going on here.
Tell you what, Josh, I do want to get a chance to correct myself there. I called Goosens being the leader there in the 29. Unfortunately, or no, excuse me, he was the leader there for a few moments. I thought he ended up being a lap down there. They have since fallen back, though, right away off the pack. Nucci now stuck 3 wide off into turn 3 here. It's not the place he wants to be right now, trying to battle for the stage win. New leader here at the front of the pack, the 21 of Dakota Knoll.
Well, we stepped away for just a second to look at that second pack, and it got crazy up here. They're all shuffled around now, and Rich Petrucco getting a huge run on that outside line with help from Christopher Hammond. He's going to stay on that outside line, try to get at least the two of them clear. I think they're clear, so they might be waiting for Patrick to get clear as well. And now Knoll on the inside line, with the help of Goosens, is kind of shutting that down from the outside.
Inside 4 remaining here in the second stage. The Galaxy Truck Series Talladega 250. We see the battle for the lead heating up. Petrucco, Hamon, and Mucci trying to work the top with Knoll, Goosens, and the 92 of King on the bottom. It's a 6-truck battle now up at the front. They lost a couple off the tail end of this, which has allowed Landrum, Craig Fryer and Carl Felver to move themselves into some point-paying positions. Dan Fields rounding out the 10th place spot right now. Those are the back half of the stage point scorers. Meanwhile, you see the top 6 up here at the front of the pack. 3 remaining here, and it shows no signs of letting up on the intensity here. Knoll trying to get a stage win. I think that'll be his first stage win if he can get it here in the Galaxy Truck Series. Petrucco trying to nab another stage win. I mean, he is a Cup Series regular, so he's not scoring points here, but if he were, they have been keeping track of the standings as if he were a point scorer in the Truck Series. He is quite the challenger for Alonso Chicano, if that were the case.
Now, Eric, I want to point out, Joey King was on the bottom, Patrick Mouchet was on the top, and those two have switched positions now from the top to the bottom. So now King is lined up behind his teammates of Chris Hammond and Rich Petrucco. So I expect that outside line and those SPR guys to start to really work together here and maybe get those 3 trucks up front, as it doesn't look like Mouchet is really able to stick with that bottom line. He's kind of a little bit squirrely there behind Mitchell Goosens, and he has lost them. Going to go to the outside behind King to stay in the draft, and that is only going to help that outside line.
I think this is a strategy move here from the 46. He wants to try to build a run in the draft, and if the 3 faster trucks on the top at this point, since they're outnumbering the bottom lane, are going to be the faster ones to try to slingshot off of. This will be an interesting move from Patrick if he can actually build his momentum back up. We also heard a report in the radio scanner that he was actually blowing up when he was pushing Goosens earlier, so a lot of tape on that truck. You see him build that run. He's actually going to pull to the high side and go 3 wide with King and Goosens in the back part of the field, trying to see if he can make anything happen here on this final lap of stage 2. Still, it's Noel on the bottom, Petrucco being pushed by Haman in the middle, Goosens pushing Noel on the bottom, and Mouche out on his own on the top. Now he's going to get himself a position in front of King. No, King pulls to the bottom. Here through 3 and 4 for the final time in stage 2. Noel clear by just a little bit off of turn 4. Big push from the 29 of Goosens trying to get him there. Haman pulls out. He must be hot trying to push the 27. That gives Noel a full truck length lead now as they come through the tri-oval to the line. Dakota Noel, your stage 2 winner. Is too close to call between Goosens and Petrucco. Timing and scoring gives it to Goosens there at the stage break finish. What a stage finish there. Haman, unfortunately, looks like he got a little hot and he couldn't continue pushing his teammate through there to be a side-by-side battle for the finish. But first time stage winner, Dakota Noel in the 21.
Great stage win for him, and he was probably doing a lot of mirror driving right there, Eric. These races, you're leading. You're watching that mirror more than you're watching your windshield.
Absolutely. So we'll go ahead and round up your stage finishers here. Noel from Goosens. Petrucco finishes 3rd. Haman 4th in the stage. Patrick Mouche 5th. Joey King coming home 6th in that stage. 7th to Chris Landrum. 8th to Craig Fryer. 9th to Alonso Tricano, further extending his point lead there. And the final points paying position goes to Carl Felver in the 18, the 98 in your picture there. So let's see these guys line themselves up behind the pace car one more time. Josh, I expect everybody to be making a pit stop here, as they need to get the fuel and be able to try to get to the end of the race.
Yeah, if I'm anybody in this race, I'm going to take 4 tires and fuel here. As mentioned earlier about the whole tire strategy, I think if you're on a green flag pit stop, maybe no tires is the way to go. But cautions, I'd take tires. This is a perfect opportunity to take 4 tires. Then on a long green flag run here, I don't see why anybody would try any strategy here. And I expect them all to take those 4 tires.
So we see the leaders peel off. Still doesn't look like that some of the guys back there behind have quite caught up. Yeah, there comes the 97 of Landrum now pulling in to pit road. You'll see him enter just now with the 17 of Fryer, 25 of Chicano, and the rest behind them. They hadn't quite got fully back to the pack as pit road open there. Everybody down pit road, we'll see. Looks like only left sides on the 21 and Noel I'm looking at here. We'll look at the stop time here for him. He still has to take plenty of fuel though. Looks like 4 tires on the 27 truck of Rich Petrucco there. And I'm seeing, I believe, 4 tires for Christopher Haman. Looks like Noel wins the race off of pit road. Close battle off of pit road for the 29 and 33. Give that one to Goosens. As we take a look at pit exit here, see these guys file off. Noel from Goosens, Haman, the top 3 off of pit road. There, looks like it's Mouche, King, Petrucco, Landrum, Felver, Chicano, and Fryer rounding out your top 10, getting off of pit road there. A couple spots gained for some guys, 1 spot lost in some others there. Felver, big gainer there, gaining 3 spots on that pit sequence. So we'll see if we can catch up with our stage winner here, Josh. Believe you have caught up with Dakota Noel if he is available in tonight's event. Does not appear so that he is though. Well, Josh, it looks like we have free pick. Who do you want to dial up on the radio?
You know what? Just because I can, let's bring in Joey King, my pick to win tonight.
All right, we'll see if we can get the 92 truck dialed up here in the broadcast booth. Josh, I think you finally got a hold of him.
Hey, Joey King, it's Josh Coppernoll in the JCTV booth. You got a copy?
Yes, I do.
Well, hey, man, those SPR guys, including yourself, are running really good tonight. I'm kind of shocked though. I believe at Daytona, you guys had a different kind of strategy than the one here tonight, where you guys stayed in the back and really came up front towards the end. Was it a different strategy call, or am I just not remembering correctly?
No, yeah, that's pretty much what we did there. But I think we were just kind of like, hey, we're doing this for fun. Obviously, we don't, we'd like to win and stuff like that. But, it was just kind of like a, hey, we'll feel it out type of thing. And we ended up where we are now. And I mean, that would happen to be the front. So, yeah, it's just kind of the way it panned out.
Well, is the plan to really get the three of you? I know Fields is also in this race, but the three of you that have really been working together to just stay up front, or are you guys going to be a little bit calmer here with still over 50 laps to go to finish this race?
Yeah, I think now at this point, since we're up here, I think we'll probably just stay here. Hopefully Dan can get up here. Rich is going to have to probably fix some damage. I actually thought he was going to pit there and fix a little bit more. But I think we're just probably going to stay here unless it gets a little crazy, which it can. So, yeah, I guess we'll see what happens.
All right, well, we'll let you get back to your team, and maybe we'll be talking to you a little bit later.
All right, thanks, guys.
Good luck to you.
Thank you.
So that was the 92 of Joey King, one of the SPR drivers. As he talked about there, his teammates Rich Petrucco, Chris Hamon, and Dan Fields trying to get themselves in the mix tonight. And Dan Fields, the only one that wasn't up there with him. We'll see if he can rebound here in this final stage. Josh, looking at about 50 laps to go when these guys take the green flag here. I believe we're outside the window of making it a one stop. Or without any stops, excuse me.
It should be interesting, though, Eric. I'm really. We've had a couple of really calm stages. Of course, the stage one ended with incident. I think that was the only caution for an incident so far. Stage three, on the other hand, these guys, they know it's going to be 50 laps to go. Things are going to start to get hairy there, Eric. So I don't know. I don't expect a very clean stage three here, but it's going to be a fun one.
Yeah, we'll see how the intensity ramps up here as we start toward the conclusion of tonight's event. The iRacing Mustang pace car is going to make its left-hand turn onto pit road, releases the field into the hands of the 21. There on the inside of Dakota Knoll, Mitchell Goosens in the 29 flanking him to his outside. We'll see where Dakota Knoll decides to get this race restarted. He can choose any time to go. And it looks like he's going to go ahead and wait very long for it. There he goes. Green flag back in the air. Better restart for Goosens. He's actually going to get himself clear on that top lane with a push from the 46 of Patrick Mouchet.
Yeah, great restart there for Mitchell Goosens. It kind of looked like Hill may have got caught sleeping, and, well, he was the one that was leading us back to green.
I'm surprised Goosens didn't make the decision to jump down to the bottom, so that pulls the 21 of Knoll back to the front with a push from Christopher Hamon and the 33, the 92 of King following suit there on the bottom. These guys back to 2x2 racing. I'm not sure that those second pack guys want to get too far away now, because if you lose the draft here, Josh, it's going to be pretty detrimental in this third stage.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, no guaranteed caution from here on out. Like I said, I do expect this stage to be a little bit crazy, but I could be wrong. It could be way calm, and if you're running in the second pack way far off and you don't catch a yellow, then would you say this race is kind of a loss, though?
It'll be interesting. It's definitely an uphill battle to try to make up ground, especially under green. So we see a blink out there for one of the trucks back in the pack a little bit. Still no from Goosens. Still the battle side by side up front. Looking through the running order here, we only had a couple guys take 2 tires there. I think, Knoll was the front runner that took 2 tires, and back toward the back, the 99 at Overton decided to go with 2 tires as well. We'll see how that strategy pays off for him in tonight's event. Still, these guys 22 cars strong in this lead pack of lead lap drivers there, with a few lappers still in the mix trying to see if they can capitalize on some yellows if they get him in the final stage here to rebound and gain some points back. We'll see. Big move up front. Mouche, I think, got hot. He tried to pull out, and Goosen's actually moved up to continue to get a push there. It's not going to work. Haman's doing great work on the bottom to keep Noel to the lead. Let me see the rest of these lines pretty much be calm, Josh, behind these guys at this point, and not really seeing anyone fall off the pack at all.
Yeah, these guys, they figure it's go time, so might as well stay on the loud pedal and stay up front. Like we were talking about, no guaranteed cautions from this point on.
Alrighty, Josh. Well, speaking of loud pedal, how about we do it once more tonight? The sounds of Talladega Superspeedway with a little JCTV. Turn it up. and make sure you turn those dials down just a little bit as I'm coming back into my commentary here with Josh here on JCTV. We're bringing you the Talladega 250 here from Talladega Superspeedway in iRacing. We're looking at live pictures here down the back straightaways. The 33 of Christopher Hamann has found his running mates. The 92 of Joey King, the 27 of Rich Patrico, all on the top side. They're trying to control this race. Meanwhile, Goosens is getting a great push from Patrick Mouchet in the 46. They shuffled Dakota Knoll back to third in line on the bottom, as you saw while we were in our Turn It Up segment. Meanwhile, there's a pink and black truck working his way in there. That's our in-race reporter of Cameron Caldwell, starting to stick his nose into things. He's fifth in line on the outside. We see a lot of double wide racing here. Not a lot of three wide just yet, Josh. I believe these guys are eyeing up a pit stop. Pit window should open sometime soon.
Yeah, and those green flag pit stops could be treacherous. I'm not too sure, do you want to go first in that first group of drivers that pit, or do you want to wait and see if maybe those guys wreck while they come to pit road and maybe bring out a yellow? It's always the questions that I ask myself when I'm in a situation like this at late racing with green flag pit stops coming up. So it's going to be interesting to see what they do here.
Still maintaining 2x2 throughout basically the first 6 rows there. King from Hamann, they're trying to use the draft of a slower truck there. That's the 13 of Hickenbottom being lapped. Oh, Goosens gets turned sideways off the 46's front bumper. He's going to save that thing on the bottom. What a save from the 29 of Mitchell Goosens. Bad push there from Patrick Mouchet. Just the bumpers did not line up. That actually, Josh, lets those SBR guys get clear on the top. But what a save for that 29 truck.
Yeah, that was a great job on his part to save that truck and keep it clean. Not what he wanted, but at least he still has a truck that can get up there and compete for a win still.
See a little bit of shuffling as he made that great save. He's actually fallen to the back part of the pack, barely hanging on to this lead draft here for the 29 of Goosens. Meanwhile, up front, now we get a little bit more tame first 5 truck single file. Craig Fryer trying to make some noise on the top side. He's the first in line. He's getting a push from Carl Felver in the 98 truck right there. And now we see the 7. Your pick to win last week, Josh. Dave Fuge has made his move toward the top, and he's going to lead this outside lane now.
Yeah, he broke my 3-race streak of picking the correct winner, but Dave, he's a smart driver, and I'm pretty sure he and his teammate David Duke kind of merged with PBRD, Piston Broke Racing Development, with Ryan Samuelson earlier this week. So maybe a little biased here. I'm trying not to be, but great to see him running up front. And he's actually has a huge run now, as he's going to just barely take the lead, and not barely anymore. He's still going on that outside line. That outside is so organized right now, to the point where drivers in the back, like Alonso Chicano, stepped out of line. Now Fuge is going to go to the bottom, and it looks like Fryer is going to stay up top, try to continue that run. Now Fuge is going to try to clear Fryer with help from the 33 of Christopher Hammond.
What a big push there from the 17 of Craig Fryer, making his name known here in the Galaxy Truck Series. He's one of those Truck Series regulars. He's getting a lot of help from Carl Felver on the top there. What a run for those two guys. I'll tell you what, look at that guy third in line on the top. Dakota Knoll has found himself in a position where he can try to get back to the lead of the race. Good move there from that 21 truck, going third in line now on the top, positioning himself really well. Josh, we're approaching pit stops here soon, but I'm thinking ahead here. Do you want to be in the middle? Do you want to be on the bottom? Where are you going to want to be for this final run to the end? I'm especially trying to make that last lap move to win this race.
Oh man, it's so hard. to really tell with these races. Basically, I'd want to be up front and on the bottom to make my pit stops. I don't want to be in the middle. Although, if you're up front, you have a chance to be ran over from behind. So you really got to hope that you can get some choreography, if you will, of trying to get down onto that apron to bring it down to the pit road. But yeah, I think being up front is where I'd want to be, so that when you get off pit road, if your pit stop is clean and no issues, to continue to stay up front when you exit pit road. Looks like Fryer just got left on that high side. He has no help.
And Felver got clear, and Felver's actually going to work to help him get down to the bottom, but that's actually going to leave the top side open now for Dakota Knoll. Put the 21 truck back to the point on a big push there from Landrum. What a sequence of events right there. It looks like Felver and Fryer got themselves clear. They were trying to work together to get to the bottom, but a miscommunication there between the 17 and the 98 allows the 21 truck of Knoll to really ride that momentum off the top with a big push from Landrum to get himself clear to the lead. He's got some help now from, and as I say that, the 78 of David Duke does turn back down to the bottom, so now Landrum's without help on the top side. He's got a couple of truck lengths back to the 25, the point leader here in the Galaxy Truck Series of Alonso Chicano, now working his way into the picture.
Yeah, that outside line really has just died down now. The inside is where you want to be at this point. I think they're getting ready for those pit stops here, Eric.
I was just getting ready to ask you, Josh, with everyone filing to the bottom here, at what point do you think we're going to see these guys start to make their stops? I haven't heard anything over here on my end in terms of the radio yet, but as I hear that, I hear a lap number I thought I heard from Chicano on the radio, but they hasn't quite figured it out. But yeah, everyone's getting single file. I would not be surprised to see some pit stops getting ready to come up here soon.
Well, just the moment you say that, Fryer and others move to the top to try to get around. Looks like David Duke and Hill. Now you got 3 trucks lined up on the top, but you're not really able to make anything happen here as that bottom line gets organized very quickly.
As we say, we thought they were getting ready for pit stops. Of course, as Josh just pointed out, they are proving us wrong right now. So Knoll getting a push from David Duke on the bottom, but here comes Craig Fryer on the top with help from Landrum and from Felver. Fryer gets himself clear. Landrum is not quite so Fryer's actually going to hang on to the top here with his help on the top between the 97 of Landrum and the 98 of Felver. And we'll see if any of these guys decide to peel off of turn 4 here for pit stops yet. Not seeing anyone making moves. Oh man, Cameron Caldwell, our in-race reporter, made me think about it for a moment, but I think he was just in a little bit of a four-wheel slide. As we pointed out, these trucks can be really a handful driving in the draft, as he also mentioned at the top of the broadcast how squirrely these things can get in dirty air.
You know, I'm really impressed with Alonso Chicano, your pick to win here. You know, he doesn't really have much help here tonight, but he is just still strong and making moves, really shining here. Coming to 30 laps to go. We've got 31 to go. But he's starting to shine. The point leader, he made it clear that he wants wins, and he's going to go for them.
I tell you what, Josh, there's a reason that he's gotten that points lead. He's been very consistent week in and week out here this year in the Galaxy Truck Series, the first half season. And now David Duke moves to the top. He leaves Dakota Knoll hung out to dry. Chicano will be the one to fall in behind Knoll, but Craig Fryer aims to give a push to the 78 here. And I tell you what, these front 6, front 8 aren't really thinking about pit stops here, at least those guys on the top, because they're not trying to get to the bottom anymore. It looks like pit stop's still maybe a few laps away, but we're heavily anticipating when the first driver decides to make that turn down to the apron to get a stop here to get enough fuel to make it to the end of the race. Josh, are we filling it full here, or are we short fueling to make sure we have the shortest time on pit road going forward for the end of the race?
It really depends. If you think we're gonna have green light checkers here or overtime, you get up to 3 overtime attempts, so you want to at least have enough fuel for that. But right here, I think no tires and short fueling, as long as you have the calculations correct, assuming that we do have green light checkers.
Big push on the outside there. You'll see Felver, Fryer, and I think the 97 of Landrum get themselves clear off of turn 4, and Fryer still not giving up the top. Josh, as we see a big push from him and Landrum, as well as Felver on the top. They are going to try to clear David Duke into turn 1. The first 2 are clear. We'll see if these guys decide to finally pull down. Not too many guys choosing to make stops yet. Only one driver has made a pit stop, and that was 37 of Joe Wilt. Believe he just needed to make that stop because he was running low on fuel. He is off of pit road. He's over in turn 4 right now. So a short stop for him means he won't go more than 1 lap down than he already is. He was going a lap down as he made his way onto pit road. We'll see what happens here for the rest of these guys. 25 laps into this stint with just 27 remaining when they cross the start-finish line this time.
Yeah, coming 27 to go right here. This is going to be so interesting, really. See when they pit. I'm really shocked that they're still pushing. I think you gotta save fuel here, though, Eric. I mean, just at least save something. You know, stay calm. Try to get a little bit more of an advantage on your competitors.
I mean, Josh, we've seen them. They're halfway through this final stage at this point. I'm not sure how much saving fuel is gonna play. As we have a radio communication here, it sounds like the 46 of Mouchet is pitting on lap 76, which is about 8 laps away right now. There we go. We got some drivers done. Turn left there toward the apron. That's the 33 of Haman is down at pit road with his teammate, the 27 of Petrucco, the 66 of Fields, the 92 of King. Mouchet actually said 76, but he decided he saw these SBR guys coming to pit road. He pulled it on down too. We'll see these guys get some stops. I think Petrucco just slid through his box there. It's going to cost him a little bit of time. We'll see what these guys are thinking. It looks like fuel only for a lot of these guys. I don't see the jack going up too much. Fields is the first one down and away there. Haman getting fuel as well. Yep, definitely no tires for a lot of these guys. Just enough fuel to get them to the end of the race.
Off pit road cleanly for it's like all of them. All 5 of these trucks now are gonna get back up to full speed. Rich Petrucco a little bit behind, but his teammates might drag him a little bit, and he does.
So we see these guys try to get themselves up to the speed. The leaders are only in turn 1. So, and just now coming through turn 2. So I think these guys will be able to maintain a gap to the lead pack. They won't fall into the clutches of this lead pack and fall a lap down. A lot of these guys eyeing up stops here in the next 3 to 5 laps. We're getting reports from our in-house admin here in the Galaxy Truck Series, the 57 of Cam Stone, normally one of our drivers. He is reporting that they are pitting here. So here we go. We got Duke coming down. Caldwell in the 12, the 81 as well as a whole host of others coming to pit lane. Looks like everyone's going to make it on easy. Overton in the 99 also down. We'll watch these guys make their stops, see what the decision is for these guys in terms of tires or not. We see everyone hitting their box. The 7 of Fuge is in. Looks like the right sides are up for Duke. The right sides are up for the 7 of Dave Fuge Jr. I don't think Caldwell got tires there. And you see the rest of these guys pretty much fuel only the rest of the way down pit road. Overton a little squirrely, and these guys will try to get themselves built back up.
Yeah, I think Caldwell also took rights there. I did see the right side of his car go up, so nice job by those guys.
Oh, Josh, we just got a report over here. The 27 of Petrucco, very unfortunate for his race here. Black flag on pit exit. Unfortunately, has the 27 coming down to serve a black flag here under green. That's going to take him out of the race without the help of another yellow. Very unfortunate for the SPR driver, the 27 of Rich Petrucco, having to serve a drive-through there for unsafe pit exit. Sounds like from race control that he got his rights just over that yellow line on pit exit. Unfortunately, that is a no-no in iRacing.
Yeah, that is a huge bummer for Rich Petrucco. He's a fast driver and has won a lot so far in this first season. He probably needs a yellow here to stay in it.
So our top 6 have yet to pit. That's Landrum, Fryer, the 18 in timing and scoring, the 98 there of Carl Felver, the 21 of Dakota Knoll, the 25 of Chicano, and the 26 of Ryan McDaniel. First time we've called his name tonight. First ones off pit road have the 78 of David Duke as well as the 12 of Cameron Caldwell, our in-race reporter. They are the first in line off of pit road of the guys that have made stops. They are some 40 seconds back. We'll see what their pace is once they get themselves built back up here. Looks like the SPR guys are lapping just shy of a second a lap faster than these front 6. So it'll be interesting to see what time they kind of make up here and when these guys thinking about pitting here for these front 6 between Landrum, Fryer, Felver, Knoll, Chicano, and McDaniel. And as I say that, here they come. Knoll is the furthest out. He's actually going to hang on to it. Fryer has them all 4 locked up, getting onto pit road. He's going to keep it straight. What a pit entry there from the 17 Spears machine of Craig Fryer. 97 of Landrum, your leader, is in. We'll see what these guys are thinking in terms of strategy here. Looks like the rights are up for Landrum. I don't think any tires for any side went up for the 17. Felver, nothing there. Same for Knoll, Goosens, as well as McDaniel. Only Landrum really the only one there to take tires. We'll see where these guys cycle out in terms of the lead as they get themselves built back up to speed. There's the pack coming by. I think, Josh, that these guys are in a little bit of trouble as the pack comes roaring by them right there.
Yeah, and they're not even close to being up to speed, so this is going to be huge loss for them. They're going to need a yellow to catch back up to them, because I don't even think if they get single file and really start pushing each other, if they're going to have enough to catch back up to that lead pack.
I'll tell you what, Josh, looking at the lap times, the pace has really picked up, especially for these guys that have already stopped. Ryan Samuelson and the 32 is now your leader, being pushed by the 9, I believe that's the 99 of Lee Overton. He's 96 on our picture. He has made his way to the front, but these guys are almost a second and a half faster per lap than what Landrum and Fryer were running when they made their stops. So there's your speed discrepancy right there. We see Landrum now 4.7 seconds now that he's built back up to pace off the leaders. They have a lot of ground to make up, but it's only a 4-truck pack between those, between Landrum, Fryer, Knoll, and Felver. McDaniel has fallen away, as has the point leader, Alonzo Chicano, fallen away, and Andre Grandboucher is in danger of going a lap down here just ahead of this lead pack. He unfortunately fell off in the pit sequence as well from these guys.
Eric, did you say Ryan Samuelson?
Oh!
That was
Samuelson got
close.
turned sideways by Overton as the lapper was trying to figure out which lane he needed to be in. He held the bottom to the last possible moment. That had Samuelson sideways off the front bumper of Overton. But yes, Josh, Ryan Samuelson, the Galaxy Truck Series founder and admin, has put his truck out front at Talladega with just 19 laps remaining.
That's really good for him. I know it's probably going to be a huge momentum booster for him and his team, even just to be out here leading laps. That outside line really starting to take shape, and I believe that's going to be Dave Feuds Jr. and David Duke out there. I think Duke is going to be leading that, and Feuds is going to be the second truck in line there. All the way in the third lane, but they're really not going to have anything tucked back into that second line.
So we see SPR guys, Chris Hamon, Joey King, Rich Petrucco, and the tag-along Patrick Mouchet making his name, or making his truck flashy as he moves toward the top lane to try to move these guys toward the front. Josh, well, before things get too crazy, let's do a little recap through the field here with just 17 and a half laps remaining. I'll start with this leader out front, the 32 of Ryan Samuelson. He hasn't had anything to really show throughout much of the season. He's been worrying more so about running this league, being the founder, but it's great to see him out front leading his, I believe, his first laps under green in his Galaxy Truck Series. And it's pretty awesome to see as he's pushed by a teammate there in the 96 of Lee Overton.
And next we got Christopher Hammond. He's been running really great with his SPR teammates, Joey King, Rich Petrucco, and we kind of got Daniel Fields in tow behind the number 46 as well, if you see up there. But Hammond, he's been really staying strong with those teammates behind him, and I think he's been up front most of this race when working with his teammates. So they have really good team orators going on there and really sticking to them quite well, it looks like. So I expect him to stay up front the rest of this race with
the battle
17 coming to 16 to go.
The battle for third is on between the 92 of King and the 96 of Overton. I'll highlight the 92 of Joey King. This guy is coming off a second place finish from Las Vegas in the Cup Series where he won $15. Being the highest finishing non-playoff driver, there was a little bounty out there from Hickenbottom, and Joey King, despite some adversity early on in the race with an early incident, has come through and is riding this wave of momentum that he's got. From the Cup Series over here into the Truck Series, where he's pushing his SPR teammate, the 33 of Christopher Hamon, to the front. He's battling away, Josh, with that 96 of Lee Overton.
Yeah, and I also want to say, where did Lee Overton come from as well? He's running great right now. Him and Ryan Samuelson, they're up front now and looking good doing so. I think Overton, he's going to continue to work with Samuelson here and maybe possibly pull an upset win out on this field.
So you would think I would highlight that 27 truck of Rich Petrucco, and I will. I mean, he has gotten himself back into the mix here. Unfortunately, he's a lap down due to that pit road penalty under green right there. He is the first truck one lap down, looking to get the lucky dog, but he is helping his SPR team try to battle away against this inside line, and third in line on that inside, running fifth in the running order right now, is the 23 of Logan Silvosky. He's making his Galaxy Truck Series debut tonight, and what a debut it has been, Josh. He has been up front pretty much from stage 2 on. We've been seeing that 23 truck toward the front, and he's really making his name known now, third in line on the bottom, looking for a place to go as we're inside 15 laps remaining.
And next up, you got number 12 of Cameron Caldwell driving the CCG, or C2 Graphics machine there. He's been hanging around in the back or middle back all race until really the start of the third stage, where he started to shine and he's looking pretty good. He usually does that at these kind of races as well, as he starts to poke around towards the end of the race.
And challenging to his outside. How about another SPR driver? They're the front four in that outside lane. It's great to see that 66 truck of Dan Fields finally up toward the front. He was lost without his teammates there for most part, the better part of this race through the first two stages, but he has finally found his way to the front, sporting an awesome, colorful paint scheme right there. I can't even quite make out what it is, but nonetheless, he's put himself in great position to try to get some solid points tonight. If not, go for a win here in the Galaxy Truck Series. He's knocking on that door of getting that first win.
And right behind him is Patrick Mouchet, and he's like I said at the top of the broadcast, he's not been around much lately, but what a statement he's really been making today. Staying up front for most of this race. He's wanting to win really bad. I expect him to make some moves to get that done. Park it in victory lane.
So last one we'll highlight here is our 10th place runner. Just before that, the 37 there on the bottom of Mouchet is actually Joe Grote Jr., or excuse me, not Joe Grote Jr., just Joe Grote. He's another lapper. He's actually trying to battle Rich Petrugo for the Lucky Dog spot. We'll keep an eye on that as the race progresses here with just 12 laps remaining. But the 10th place runner is actually that chrome red 78 of David Duke running in the back part of this pack here. Duke has been a newcomer to the Galaxy Truck Series, but man, has he been putting his truck toward the front. He's got good pace in that thing. He looks to capitalize again tonight. The nice thing about super speedways is they are great equalizers. Anyone can win if they're within that first second, and he is just on the edge, but he's still hanging on to that lead draft. That highlights our top 10 here in the Galaxy Truck Series Talladega 250 at the virtual Talladega Superspeedway. Just 11 laps remaining as they come through the trial and cross the line. Ryan Samuelson still your leader from Lee Overton, and the SPR line is starting to struggle a little bit, Josh.
Yeah, I've been watching both these lines here, and Overton has really been helping Samuelson, and of course King has really been helping Hammond on the outside line, and it just doesn't seem like they're really able to get much. I wonder if King is really starting to run hot, so trying to back it down, and that's really helping the inside line here. Lee Overton and Ryan Samuelson on the bottom.
So now the first three trucks have gotten themselves clear. That's Levalsky, Overton, and Samuelson. Overton's taking the opportunity right now to get his truck a little cool. And as I say that, here comes a big push from Joey King to Christopher Hamon on that top side. These guys are going to battle it out, Josh, side by side to the end. At what point are you thinking, with just 10 remaining here as they cross the line, when do you decide to take it 3 wide?
Oh, man, I don't know. Do we have enough trucks to go 3 wide is the question. Not a lot of trucks up front here, as they are a little bit 3 wide here with a lap truck. Nothing to worry about there as that lap truck of Mitchell Goosen stays way high.
Unfortunately, it looks like that huge slide for Goosens when he made that big save as the leader has cost him a lot, because he lost tabs on the draft, and he's actually 2 laps down now. He's not even battling for the Lucky Dog. Meanwhile, the battle for the Lucky Dog is still on between Petrucco and the 37 of Gwilt. So 27 and 37, the 2 white trucks in the middle of the pack there, trying to battle it out. Gwilt not really in the track position he needs to try to challenge and take that Lucky Dog position away if we happen to get a caution here with just 9 laps remaining. Ryan Samuelson still your leader up front from Lee Overton.
Yeah, this has probably got to be the longest, now 9 laps of Ryan Samuelson's life as he is up front here leading still in the Talladega 250. Eric, you're coming down to the end of a race here. You're leading it. You're at a plate race at that. Talladega. How do you keep yourself calm? At least in Ryan's case, he's got a teammate behind him. How do you try to keep yourself calm in this situation?
A lot of different things actually play a factor into that, Josh. Honestly, I rely a lot on an actual spotter versus the virtual spotter. I like that calm, soothing voice that can point out hey, you're doing well. Hey, you're sitting in good position. Maybe think about, and he feeds me as much information as he can to try to position myself in the way I need to, which just makes me that more comfortable to know I'm in what I believe to be the better position in going forward in the rest of the race. Whether that's the top lane, whether that's the middle, we'll see how that plays itself out here for these guys as we see that top lane of the SPR guys really starting to make their comeback here with a little bit of engine cooling there for Joey King. He's been able to make some big pushes. He gets himself a little offset there from Haman. That's not going to help him as much, but it's hard because you're coming down to the end of the race, Josh. I mean, the intensity just picks up so much, but at the same time, you really rely on different factors around you, and confidence in your ability to really keep you under wraps here coming down inside 10 to go.
A lot of trucks have moved up to that outside line now. Not too much help on the bottom. I think if you're on that bottom, you've really got to start worrying here is, oh my goodness, I'm not sure who that is in that Oreo machine. Just shoved Petrucco out of the way. Can't even tell what number that is.
That was the 81 of Michael Kruger making a power move, breaking up the SPR guys on the top a little bit. That's going to hurt the SPR guys, especially if Kruger doesn't get up there to push King as close as the SPR guys were, such as Petrucco or Dan Fields. Want to make a little note here for the back end of the broadcast. The 4-second gap that Landrum and Felver had to the leaders has turned into 15 seconds. Unfortunately, they've fully fallen away from this lead pack. So mainly, it's just a 11 truck battle with some lap trucks mixed in for this win. We see the 12 of Cam Caldwell really mixing it up right there. This actually, Josh, as I mentioned, the lap trucks, they're nose to tail for the battle for the Lucky Dog between the 27 and 37.
Yeah, this race has really gotten intense very quickly. It's even gotten intense between the lap trucks. They want that Lucky Dog spot if we do get a caution. And it looks like, I'm not sure who that is. It's either Duke or Fuge. It's going to be Duke. Goes all the way to the third lane with help from Cameron Caldwell. And Fuge is in tow. Joey King looking outside. He does go outside, so he's going to leave his teammate Hammond. No, he tucks back into line now.
Oh, contact! Dan Fields gets out into the David Duke. He's going to turn on the back part of this pack, and we're finally going to get a yellow flag off of turn 2. 4.5 laps remaining from the end. Looks like Fields slid out maybe just a little bit into Duke, or Duke came down. I'm not sure. We'll see if we can see it on the replay. But contact at the back part of this pack is going to kill the 3-wide run that Duke was trying to build. I guess 5 laps to go was the timing for going 3-wide, and unfortunately it did not pay out as we get a look at a live picture here. We'll see if Duke came down, Fields came up. Looks like Fields just runs up the track a little bit of contact, gets them both involved, and I think they clipped the, not sure which truck that is, a 7 of Dave Fuse Jr. maybe, on the back part of that incident.
What an incredible job Cameron Caldwell did right here as we watch from his cockpit view. That was incredible to make it around that, Eric.
Wow. What a move there from the 12 of Caldwell.
That is experienced driving and maybe a little bit of luck as well out of Caldwell to avoid that.
Well, I'll tell you what, Josh. That yellow brings those guys that were 15 seconds back that I was just making note of back into the picture. Bring Fryer, bring Landrum, bring Felver, Knoll, Chicano, and McDaniel back into the picture for the end of this race. We're going to get a restart, potentially in overtime, here in the Galaxy Truck Series Talladega 250.
Now, do you pit? That's the question. You're on old tires. That fresh rubber could be nice, but it looks like our leaders are going to stay out. Nobody's really pitting at all.
So a couple guys toward the back air, yes, are making stops. looks like it's pretty status quo for everyone up front, most staying out. Josh, I think you've had a chance to dial up the guy who just made an impressive miss of the wreck. I think Josh has caught up with our in-race reporter.
Hey, Cameron Caldwell, it's Josh Copperell on the JCTV booth. You got a copy?
Yep.
So, was that a Code Brown moment there for you? I mean, like, what an incredible move to not be caught up in that wreck.
I saw it coming. I knew as soon as we made it 3 wide, and I was watching Dan in front of me, and he was all over the place. So I saw it coming. I started kind of backing off a little bit, and then they finally did wreck. So I just went low and hoped there was no one below me, and luckily there wasn't. So I'm all good.
Well, anybody that you've really been working with out here?
I've been working with the Daves, Dave Fudge, and what's his name?
David Duke.
Yep, your guy, David Duke. Yeah, we've been working together all race. We've had a good plan. We're getting ready to go right there. We couldn't get lined up as well as we wanted to, but we had a run coming. Just didn't work out for them, I guess.
Looks like we're going to get a short green-white checkered maybe to finish this race out. You're going to restart in 7th, it looks like. What's the plan here? Go hard or hope they wreck?
I don't know if I've got anything for them. They got all the SPR boys up front, so just got to hope they wreck, I guess, for my situation. But we'll see what happens here.
Alrighty, we'll let you get back up into your team channel and possibly speak with you later in the race.
All right. Thanks, guys.
So once again, our in-race reporter getting a quick moment to chat with him there, Josh. And it's awesome that these guys are willing to do this week in and week out. Let us get some insight on what these guys are thinking, feeling as they move toward the end of the race. So yes, we're definitely looking at a green-white checkered here. They're going to cross the line with 2 to go here. And the lights are still not out on the pace card. So I believe this will be the first official attempt at a green-white checkered. And Josh, correct me if I'm wrong, I think this is the first official attempt at a green-white checkered in the Galaxy Truck Series, period.
I don't think you're wrong on that at all. I can't recall another one, so this is, I think this is going to be intense.
So this caution honestly plays into SPR a little bit, right? Because like these guys get a chance to cool these things back down. I mean, Overton also is another one that was getting a chance to cool it down with his team pushing his teammate Ryan Samuelson there. We see Samuelson has decided to take the bottom here. It'll be interesting to see how he plans to manage this. I'm not sure if the 23's in with these guys or not, but we'll see what kind of plan they have for this restart. The SPR guys are a little mixed up as well. You got King on the bottom, whereas you got Haman up there on the top.
Yeah, I was very curious to know what lane Samuelson was going to choose here, if he was going to choose that outside line to have a plan with Lee to get back in. But, you know, the one thing is, this does kind of break up those SPR guys a little bit. So I'm very curious to see what happens here. It looks like King is laying back just a little bit here.
So the first official attempt of green-white checker here in the Galaxy Truck Series, especially the first attempt we've covered here on JCTV. This is going to be intense for 2 laps. These guys have a chance to go out here and win this race. And pretty much every single driver here, Josh, is in it. We're working lap 93. We're going to start lap 94, go 1 lap past if we can make it back to the start-finish line to take the white flag. Pace car has pulled in, leaves the field in the hands of that 32 truck of Ryan Samuelson. He'll look to get us back under green. There's a big gap there to the second driver in the inside lane, Logan Silvowski. Green flag flying in the air. Samuelson puts his foot to the floor And a big jump for that 32 truck with Lee Overton getting to the bottom quickly. He's actually going to pull Haman down with him. And Slavoski now separating Haman from his teammate, Joey King, as these guys build their speed up through turn 1.
And Haman goes to the outside very quickly with the run from Slavoski. And Joey King jumps up there with him. Looks like he's going to take the lead away, and more trucks jumping to that outside line. Give the lead to Chris Hammond now.
Big moment there with Slavoski making a huge power move back to the bottom. He's going to get a push from Samuelson. Put the 23 truck on point after a little bit of contact with the 33 on that backstretch. SPR got themselves lined up between the 33 and the 92 on the top. Let's see if they can build their momentum here as we come through the tri-oval looking for the white flag. Remember, folks, this start-finish line is not in the tri-oval. It's down here closer to turn 1. Right here, white flag in the air one more time around from Talladega.
This is going to be wild, and it looks like Alonso Chicano moves up to a third lane in the back. I don't know if it's enough for him, but side by side for the lead. Looks like Joey King is pushing his teammate Chris Hammond, but Samuelson on the bumper of Slavoski. That bottom line has a huge run, but Caldwell to the top. Bottom has the advantage.
Big push from Ryan Samuelson. He gets himself clear. Overton's almost clear of that middle lane. When do you pull out is the question for these guys. Second and third lane. Here comes Samuelson to the middle. Haman's going to go to the top. He's in the wall. They're spitting behind him. 2 by 2 to the line. The 23 of Slavoski getting a push from Overton. Samuelson hung out to dry. Logan Slavoski in the 23 is going to win the Talladega 250 here at the virtual Talladega Superspeedway. What a win on his debut as they wreck behind him across the line. What a finish, Josh.
Wow, that was insane. I don't even know what to say after that one. That was a crazy finish, Eric. Wow.
We'll see if we can get that pulled up on the replay. I mean, Samuelson chose a perfect time. The run was coming from the top. He pulled to the middle. Haman tried to take his run further outside. I'm not sure if his truck just got a little upset off of turn 4. He just drifted onto the wall, and it caused a huge melee right there. And King, just trying to push him, ended up following him, unfortunately. We'll watch this wreck here in the back part of the pack. Left these guys in a 4-truck battle for the wins. King came back down the track. A couple guys went up the track, got involved. I tell you what, a couple guys squeaked through there just barely, but what a run for the 23. Logan Slavoski, your winner here at the virtual Talladega Superspeedway for the Talladega 250 from the Galaxy Truck Series League Racing action. We'll be back in just a moment here on JCTV. We'll give you replays of shots of this final few laps while we get ready for post-race coverage here on JCTV. Audio is still hot. Welcome back to post-race coverage here on JCTV of the Talladega 250 from the virtual Talladega Superspeedway and the iRacing service for the Galaxy Truck Series League race that just has concluded. 95 total laps tonight in the event. A little bit of overtime action. Saw a great run for Logan Slavoski taking the win, but we'll go ahead and get our top 5 here. Josh, I believe you've had a chance now to catch up with our 4th place finisher, Ryan Samuelson.
Hey, Ryan, it's Josh Coppernell in the JCTV booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, man, I got a copy. What's up?
What a race there. We're looking really good. Had the lead for the last 20 or so laps and ultimately lost it on that green-white checkered there. Was there any team plans going on between you and Overton?
Yeah, me, Lee, Logan, we're all working together on that. I mean, Logan just had a run. He was talking about that at the end. He had a run, and if you have a run, take it. So he took it and got in front of it. I was gonna either push him to the end to win if I had someone next to me, but I had a gap. I went for it. So I wish I could have won, but you know what? Teammate victory. Props to SS. First race out here. First win. Great having them aboard.
Well, you guys were running in the back for most of the race. Was that part of the strategy for you, or were you trying to run up front? Just ultimately couldn't get up there.
No, we definitely played. That was definitely our strategy to stay in the back and relax. And the race isn't won until the last lap. So as long as we have to have a car to be there at the end to have a chance to lead that last lap.
Now,
Sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to ask, coming to that, green-white checkered there, you chose the bottom. I was a little shocked to see that, thinking with you and Overton working together that you might take the top, but you got a great jump there to retain the lead on the restart. Was there, was there some deal between you and Overton where you might go early and allow him to get in?
Yeah, there's a little bit of a deal. I completely forgot about the whole line picking thing. So when I was in the lead, it was more of a holy shit, I'm in the lead kind of thing. I completely forgot about being able to choose a line. So that was why I picked. That was why I was on the bottom. Thinking about it, I could have probably gone on the top. That would probably made things a little bit easier for me because I got immediately overtaken, heading into one, and lost the lead there.
All right, well, before I let you go, any sponsors or team shout outs you'd like to give? Who gets it done for you?
Oh yeah, of course, PBR of Overton Speed Shop team. Been great working with them the past couple weeks, and can't wait to working with them some more. Shout out to you guys for doing this broadcast, and shout out to everyone also racing this. It was a great race. I think we put on a hell of a show for everyone watching.
All right, well, good job on 4th place, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks. Have a great one. Thanks for broadcasting.
No problem.
So, Josh, you got a chance to catch up with our 4th place finisher there, Ryan Samuelson. What a great run for that Galaxy Truck Series founder. Usually worried more about running the series. Got a chance to have a great run here tonight. We'll get a chance now to catch up with our 5th place finisher, Ryan McDaniel, in the 26. Ryan, what a finish there. I mean, the seas must have parted right in front of you to come up through the front and score a top 5.
Yeah, you got a copy on me?
Yes, sir. We got you.
Yeah, it was pretty nuts. Went from 14th on that last lap all the way up to 5th at the finish. Just was taking a run at that 3rd outside lane, and then when everyone started wrecking, I just tried to go through the holes and somehow ended up 5th and all that.
So we saw you working mainly toward the back throughout the race tonight. Was a strategy to come forward and avoid all the wrecks. Seemed to play out pretty well there for you. Just walk me through, especially that final lap coming from 14th to 5th.
Yeah, so the first 2 stages, we were just trying to stay in the back, me and a couple of other guys, and just riding around, avoiding wrecks, and that worked pretty well for stage 1 and stage 2. And then stage 3 hit and was pretty contentious, staying at the back half of that first pack, so staying around 16th, 17th, and then honestly got screwed up there on the green flag stop, and I wasn't in that front pack anymore, so I thought I was just going to ride around to 16th. But then the caution came out. We put 4 tires on it, and when you're back in 14th, you can see the run's pretty good. And when I started seeing that 3rd line form up top in that top lane, I had a ton of momentum, so I went up there with them, thinking that the middle line would get stacked up. And midway down the back straightaway, I thought we weren't going anywhere, and we get into 3 and 4, still wasn't moving. So I was like, well, we'll bring it home, 12th or 13th, and then they just started stacking up, and it was just reflex at that point, trying to turn down and turn up. And as soon as I cleared through the wrecking cars, I got tagged again, or I came up on somebody and thought I was going to spin it in the tri-oval, but gathered it up and crossed the line 5th. It was just Talladega racing.
Well, quite the wheelman to hang on to that thing. Before I let you go, Ryan, anyone you'd like to thank for your run here tonight who helps you get it done week in and week out on that 26 truck?
Yeah, I got to thank everyone that is involved with, Hickson Ball Racing, with Cody's team and Cam's team. We all kind of, talk back and forth and work together. And Alonzo, this race, he and I stuck together, and I told him I'd push him to the win if I could. And so, good teammate there, and or team affiliate with Alonzo. So thanks to all the guys who make it happen in practice with me throughout the week.
Alrighty, well, that was our 5th place finisher, Ryan McDaniel, getting a top 5 here tonight at Talladega in quite an interesting fashion, coming from 14th to 5th there at the checkered flag. Josh, I believe you have a chance now, Josh, to catch up with Lee Overton, our 2nd place finisher tonight.
Hey,
how's it going, guys?
It's going good. How are you doing?
Not too bad. No, it was great to run with the Galaxy Boys. My second race here. Tried to push Ryan to the win there, and then we got that caution fell, and our team lined up 1, 2, 3, so it kind of split us up there and kind of threw a gamble into our strategy, but worked out in the end. Glad to be able to push one of my guys to the win there.
Yeah, so anything that you might have been able to do differently coming to that checkered flag to, maybe get a win? Or were you just really staying in line to push Logan to the win?
I mean, I saw him go high, and then I called him back down to the low side, saying that I'd push him. We're in team speak together, so we were able to communicate between the team pretty easily. I kind of second guessed myself there. I could have gone for the win, but I didn't want to have him come down and just wreck. I wanted to make sure one of us got that win there, so I'd rather push push one of my cars to the win than possibly ruin it for us and ruin it for the rest of the guys. I mean, that was a really great race. Few incidents. We were hoping the last stage would stay green with our pit strategy, and then two of our cars kind of got lost there. So it's just Ryan, Logan, and I. So we made a push to the front there, and then we were able to keep the bottom line there. I don't know, the set that we built, somehow we were able to push much longer than most trucks. As you can see, anytime that second pack came up and got to my door, I was able to push for a good, I don't know, like 4 or 5 laps straight without my Christmas tree lighting up. But yeah, like I said, I could have gone to the bottom there, but I'd rather not risk it and have a clean finish there.
Well, I got the opportunity to talk to Ryan Samuelson and interview him and ask him a little bit about the race strategy, about how you guys were racing in the back and waiting till late in the race to come up front. So I'm going to ask you, as far as that green flag pit stop went, what was the strategy called there with the pit stops? We saw some drivers taking 4, some drivers taking 2. What was the call for you guys?
We all took 4 there. Or no, at the last stop we took fuel only. We took 4. Either the yellow before or the Logan and I had to pit under green coming, and the 81 I believe had to pit under green with about 8 to go in the second stage, and then just topped off there, and we're able just to do a splash and go. And I don't know, I had an extra 3 gallons or so, so we kind of overshot on that guess, but rather be safe than sorry there. But yeah, the strategy was definitely for the 5 of us. We're seeing how slow the pack was. I mean, we were running 2 seconds off our fastest pace there before the green flag stops, and then we did have that group that came in. So we just put down a hot lap there before we caught the back of that pack and slowed down, and just made that pit stop, and we were able to come out all together there. And then had 2 of the 5 got pit road penalties, so kind of threw a wrench into it. But we were all hoping to pit 5 of us together there. But it fell the way we wanted it to for the most part, so can't really complain there on the strategy side.
Well, before I let you go, who do you have any sponsors or team shoutouts you'd like to give? Who gets it done for you?
This is actually a homegrown setup that we run at Overton Speed Shop. We also supply Maconi Setup Shops with their NASCAR Oval A, B, and C setup. So shout out to Maconi Setup Shop. And then our 2 biggest sponsors, Never Wake, a band out of North Carolina, as well as Harvest Goddess, a local business here in Maine. It's nice to have a little bit of support, and just happy we could have one of our guys bring home the trophy. That's what we're here for, and we got that done.
Alrighty, well, good job and congrats on your second place finish. We'll talk to you next time.
All right, sounds good. You guys have a good night. Great broadcast tonight. Appreciate it.
Thank you. You have a good night as well.
Thanks.
So, Josh, that was Lee Overton, our second place finisher tonight. Finally get a chance to sit down with tonight's winner in his Galaxy Truck Series debut, Logan Slavoski. You did it. You weathered the storm, especially through that green-white checkered. You come home a winner on debut in the Galaxy Truck Series.
Yeah, thanks guys. I appreciate it. It was a lot of fun in my debut here. Got pulled in this week by Ryan and got the opportunity to run with you could say my bosses Lee and Chris Vanskoy. We were running there. It was a grueling race, honestly, just sitting back there. I didn't want to be back in the back all day, but we weathered the storm and we were there at the end when it mattered.
So take me through a little bit of your race strategy there. We saw you guys, a lot of your guys in Overton Speed Shop running toward the back there, biding your time. You guys made some good pit strategy call there in the final stage to bring yourself toward the front.
Yeah, early in the race there, we had that first caution that was like right on the stage break, and we made a late call to pit, which is too late to come in and pit without taking a penalty. So we ended up staying out and leading a few laps there at the beginning of stage 2. And had to pit there on the green flag stop, and that was the last time I believe I took tires for the day. But yeah, it wasn't nothing too crazy, but it was fun. It was just a lot of fun.
So more so looking toward that final green-white checkered finish, the first we've actually had here in the Galaxy Truck Series. Walk me through how you guys were able to position yourselves in that final dash to the finish, especially with having your teammate Ryan out front and also Lee, your other teammate, to your outside.
Yeah, I mean, even getting there before the green light checker, I honestly was just hoping it would just get to the end green and we could race it out. I was thinking about making a move. I didn't want to leave my teammates out to dry, but coming to that green white checkered, we had Lee and Ryan side by side there on the front row, and I was letting Lee in, but I got too much of a bad start to get the I believe it was the 32 or 33 in, and I knew that he was going to try to work with that 92, and the 92 was really not trying to push me, but they had a great run, and I went with them, and my guys weren't too happy about that, but I figured the plane was out the window there when we all didn't get lined up, and I think it was just every man for himself. But it was kind of crazy taking that. I thought we were going to wreck there. The 33 tried to shut my nose down, and I wasn't having it. So I don't know. It was exciting for sure, but then coming back around there on the white flag, I thought the 33 was gonna have a run, but the 32 ended up side drafting in there, and I don't know what happened. I didn't get a chance to watch, but Lee pushed me to the end, and it was good. It was a lot of fun. Great racing out there, and those SBR guys are really fast.
All right. Well, how much do you look forward now, especially after your first race here with us in the Galaxy Truck Series? We look forward to the Charlotte Roval next week. How much are you looking forward to a little bit of road course action, especially this late in the season?
I'm not too big of a road course ringer, so we're gonna put some hard work in at the shop this week and see what we can bring to the table. I know those SPR guys seem like they got a lot of speed, and we're gonna have to bring something for them. But I'm looking forward to that Kansas, Texas, Martinsville stretch for us. I think that's going to be some key tracks for us, and hopefully look into a full 2021 schedule.
Alrighty, well, before I let you go, Logan, who helps you get it done this week? Who do you want to thank, especially for getting that 23 truck to victory lane tonight?
I want to thank the guys back at the shop at OSS and Chris Vanskoy and Lee Overton. Those are the guys that build setups week in and week out, and want to thank McConey Setup Shops for giving us some of the light that OSS have been getting over the last month and a half here. They sponsor us, and we build setups for them, and it's a good partnership, and glad to have those guys on board as well. But definitely my guys Chris Vanskoy and Lee Overton for making it happen. They gave me the opportunity to come back out here.
Alrighty, well, that's our winner, Josh Logan Slavosky, making his debut, a great one, with a win here today at Talladega. So that's going to do it for our post-race interviews. Josh, I'm going to thank Logan for joining us there at the end. But now, this part of the post-race, we get to look forward to pre-race next week. How about that? Charlotte Roval looming overhead in just 1 week's time.
Yeah, so it's going to be our third and final road course on the schedule. Going to be interesting to see which of our road course ringers are going to be up front. At Watkins Glen, we had Cameron Stone dominate the race, and at Canadian Tire, it was a little bit of 3-truck battle between Bryson Hicksonball, Cameron Stone, and Rich Petrucco, and I believe Rich Petrucco was the ultimate winner at that one. So really looking forward to seeing the Charlotte Roval, especially with these trucks. 55 total laps. We can't pull up a graphic for you guys, unfortunately, but 55 laps. Stage is going to be at lap 25, so should be a great race, Eric.
Yeah, so these guys tagging the Roval for the first time in these trucks in this Galaxy Truck Series 2020 half season. Remember, these guys only started this league's season back in July at Kentucky. So not too many winners on the schedule, and that's, I believe, our sixth unique winner, I think, here in the Galaxy Truck Series. Logan Slavoski getting it done at Talladega. Very much looking forward to the Roval. Such a different technical track, Josh, from the road courses we've seen so far in this series, where we had Canadian Tire and then as well as Watkins Glen, which are both natural road courses. Now we get to see a little bit of a Roval action, a little bit of a different dynamic at going to Charlotte.
Yeah, so it uses, the infield road course and the classic 4 turns at Charlotte Motor Speedway as well. So you got to set your car or truck up to be able to not only attack the oval portion, but the road portion as well. And these trucks, they're going to be really hard to handle around that track, I imagine.
And definitely looking forward to next week. And then, Josh, unfortunately, only 5 races remaining for these guys as well. Looking forward past the Roval, we got Kansas, Texas, Martinsville, and Phoenix still lined up as well. So a couple mile and a half and a lot of short track action in there. Can you learn anything from the Roval, especially for places that are so heavily, such heavy braking zones like a Phoenix or Martinsville?
That's a good question, Eric. A lot of drivers in real life, like Jeff Gordon, he was really good at Martinsville and really good at the road courses. And, they say that you kind of got to treat Martinsville like a road course itself because of how much braking you use. Not really, there isn't any downshifting at all at Martinsville, just really heavy, tight, heavy braking and tight corners, hairpins at Martinsville. Phoenix, still a lot of braking, but more wide turns. I do think that, it might be a little bit of something to learn for those tracks, but they are very different themselves.
Absolutely. So, looking forward to the Roval next week. Josh, I'll let you get out of here with some closing thoughts before we close out tonight's broadcast. Are you taking any early picks to win the Roval next week?
We're on this again. Man, I don't know. There's a lot of good drivers in there. It just depends on who races. If a guy like Bryson shows back up, or Cam Stone, Stone was here tonight, just not racing. He was in admin position, or John Delaney as well. He's really good at road courses, and he's been running a lot of the season as well. Don't know if I'm going to pick one driver, but I'm going to leave those 3 drivers' names out there. It's really guys that, if they do race next week, they're going to be ones to watch.
Alrighty, well, from the Galaxy Truck Series admins here, Ryan Samuelson, Cameron Stone, Rich Petrucco, Cameron Caldwell. From the guys that put this on week in and week out as well with them. From Josh Coppernell, my partner here at JCTV, I'm Eric Wineland saying good night, stay healthy, and we'll be looking forward to seeing you guys in 1 week's time when the Galaxy Truck Series League Racing action tackles the Charlotte Roval next Friday night.